What is up, friends and fam of YouTube? Lately, I've been getting a lot of questions on my Instagram account from people I know and people who have watched the videos, mainly on my Subarus actually, on best mods, I guess, to make your Subaru reliable. Now, I'm not a shop, I'm not a tuner, but I've owned probably 12 of these cars, EJ engine cars, and I know enough about them to keep them going and keep them going relatively reliable. And I know how imperative it is to do these certain things because I've owned cars that didn't have some of these certain things. And yeah, predominantly this list is going to cover the EJ205 and the EJ257, even the EJ207. A lot of them are intermingled on how everything works. They're pretty much an identical engine ergonomically. And the things I touch on today are important for all of them, even though the EJ207 is a better quality built engine, I guess, and can usually take a lot more than the EJ257 or the USDM EJ205. So I'm going to dive right into it and give you guys a list of what I think. Of course, this is subjective. This is my opinion, my experiences. Of course, you guys are going to have different opinions and different experiences. That's all what makes us human. So don't be afraid to tell me in the comments what you have faced or what you think. And we could all have a discussion. That's the wonderful thing about being into cars. So number one on the list, without a doubt, is a tune. Tunes are extremely important for these cars. This one has been tuned. This one isn't tuned, but there's a tune ready to be uploaded for it. Just to give you an example, this one has 162,000 kilometers on it. Of course, it's the EJ207. In Japan, I do believe, from what I can tell, they are tuned differently. They are tuned better. When my tuner took the file off of this car, he was pleasantly surprised with how many safes were in the stock file. I don't know how it compares to the USDM, but I know that it is very common for these cars to blow up before 100,000 kilometers. This one in particularly blew up at 85,000. It has a rebuilt engine in it. It now has 120,000 kilometers on it, and my tune will be uploaded in this car any day now. But it is extremely important to get a tune, even in factory form. If you jump on the internet, the interwebs, and look it up, people do recommend you getting a tune, even in factory form, and especially when you touch the intake or the exhaust. Basically anything. You want to get this thing tuned. They are very temperamental when you change out the intake or the exhaust. Anything to make it breathe better or fart better, so to speak. It's not going to like life very long. Now, a lot of people in North America go with the Cobb access port, over-the-counter tunes. From what I understand, I don't have a lot of experience with Cobbs myself. I did have them in my previous vehicles, and they worked great for me. But a lot of people even say the over-the-counter tunes from Cobb are much better than the OEM tune from factory. So if you get a Cobb AP tuner and you upload a stage 1 tune, which I think is just like a stock car, it does wonders for it. But from my experience, again, this is subjective, I like to go with the Pro Tunes. Ali, my tuner here in Edmonton, tunes everything that he can tune. If he can't tune it, that sucks because I don't want to go to anyone else, really. But this car is a different car. Once you tune the car, not only does it make it a lot safer, but it transforms your car. This car would rip the face off of this car any day of the week. This car feels like 400 horsepower, and it is bone stock with a tune, but it does have the JDM goodies. that the USDM STIs do not come with. This one feels like a 300 horsepower car. That one feels a lot faster. That one, like I said, would rip the face off of this one. Even when this one is tuned, I don't think it's going to come close to that one because of the twin scroll turbo and all that jazz. So tune is a definite number one. Most of the people buying Subarus right now are going to be buying used Subarus because there's more used Subarus than there ever will be brand new Subarus, right? And you don't know the history of that car. So hopefully you do all your due diligence. The car comes out clean and you can tune it. I do know that some of the JDM cars are untunable. From what I can gather, that you can tune it, but you have to send your ECU to people who can unbrick it. That's on certain drive-by-wire vehicles. Foresters and Legacies, I think. So I'm going to try and keep this to the EJ205 and the EJ257 WRX STI group. So just be aware of that as well. But the EJ205 is shared amongst the Foresters as well. And the Legacies, again, not sure. But if you find yourself a nice STI, get it tuned. Inquire about a Pro Tune or a Cobb tuner. That is definite number one. All right, I'm going to take you on a journey in my garage. Number two is hoses. So this just came in for that STI. As you can see, this one's bone stock right now. So this one goes right here. Just like that, it's the intake tube. But it is imperative that you go over your hoses. Now, you guys I'm sure you are aware of I was just looking at some. I'm sure you're aware of the crappy PCV system stuff I was having with this car, my JDM one. And the system gets leaks in it from crappy old, hard rubber hoses. So the first two things I do when I get my Subarus is I get the tune, obviously, and then I replace all of my hoses because these hoses are very, very brittle over time with the heat cycles. This car is 12 years old now? Essentially, 13? Yeah, 13 years old. And it is due for some hoses already, and I've already been eyeing them up. So I started out with the intake piece. The most important pieces is the intake track to the turbo because you never want this to start leaking air or else you're going to have a bad time, even with a tune. When you tune everything, you want to make sure that there's no air escaping or getting sucked into this that is not metered by your mass airflow, or else you're going to have a bad time. That goes with the PCV system too, because the PCV system flows into this pipe here. So if there's a leak in your PCV system, you're going to get uncalculated air in here, which again is not a good thing. You could run, you will run lean, and it might be hard to trace down. So what I do is I just get a silicone hose kit and I redo all of the hoses. I'll show you on my JDM version 9 STI, which has a prettier engine bay. So as you can see, I have a silicone hose here. I have a silicone Tomei turbo inlet here, and I have silicone hoses everywhere. And if I couldn't get a silicone hose, I just got a normal PCV style oil type hose, and I replaced it like this one here because my hose kit did not come with this one. So the hose kit will come with most of the hoses you need, except for a couple. So when you get the hose kit, make sure you're ordering for the right year. But it also comes with coolant hoses as well, as you can see, which are oddly discoloring. But yeah, so number 2 is hoses, because you do not want uncalculated air going into the system or a coolant hose bursting. It's in my opinion, it should be a maintenance item for most, but it's not. Most people do modify their hoses if they want to keep their engine running strong, because like I said, super easy to get a leak. Sometimes it's not the easiest to find. So number 1 is tune. Number 2 is replace all of your hoses. If you can get silicone, that's a bonus. If not, it's just going to be hard because there's so many different sizes. The silicone hose kit comes with all of the sizes that you need for the most part, like 90%, 85%. So it's easier to go that route. Right, on to the third most important mod for your Turbo Subaru WRX STI, EJ205, EJ207, 257. It's kind of funny because this exact thing I'm going through right now in order is what I'm doing to this one. So it's kind of funny. But anyway, so the third one is a catch can. Without a doubt, the PCV systems in these cars suck when they age. Even from factory, I would argue that they're not the greatest setup, at least on the previous Subarus I've owned, and this one looks to be the same setup. This Y-pipe here gets blocked majorly with crap. Water and like a thick oil sludge, which causes leaks because it's there's pressure in there, right? So on my JDM, I did find that this side of the hose on this side was leaking, that one. And this, if you look on my channel, was just full of crud. And it took me like literally like an hour to properly clean it out and get everything out of there. So just think that all that is getting recirced into our intake right here. It goes right into there. So of course you want to burn the cleanest burn in your Subaru. Even though we get rid of this, if you get a catch can, the third thing I want to tell you guys is a catch can. There is still PCV lines going into the intake, and I leave those alone because I find that this one is the most problematic, but there are kits out there that delete the whole system. I found that getting rid of half of the system has done my car wonders, and it'll probably do your car wonders too. Again, you want the cleanest burn possible in these cars to avoid detonation and keep air and fuel in your combustion chamber. Not cruddy oil, not water. That car, my JDM, gets a lot of water in the system, and it's because of condensation. It's going to happen to everything. Tyler's as well. We did the Cusco setup on his car, and every single system is going to have condensation. That's just the way it is. So, tune is on the way for this. As soon as Ali stops by and loads the tune, I got one hose out of the 100 that I have to replace, and I am going to order a catch can. I've already been eyeing one up. I'm going to buy it. It is a Cusco, and it sits right here, which is a way nicer spot in here than it is on the Blobeye version 9. I'll show you where I put this. I came up with this because it's right-hand drive, so I didn't have a lot of room because right there sits, most of them sit up here, and that's where my clutch master is and my brake master. And then I got brake lines and stuff going down there, so ABS module I think is in there too. I think, if I have ABS. Either way, no room in there. So what I did is I just tapped into the battery tie down here, have a bolt here, and I bought a little catch can. This thing actually doesn't fill up too fast, even on track days, which is a bonus. But as you can see, it's fed with this line here. Hopefully you guys can see. So this is the line that's off the Y, and it's fed into here. There's a baffle in here and a brass filter, and it gets fed back into my Tome silicone intake. So number 3, most important mod is a catch can. All right, we'll move on to honorable mentions just to make it 5, a nice round 5. Fourth thing, I'll keep the theme going of protecting your vehicle. I would protect your paint. I know there's a lot of other things you can do to your engine, and I'll probably hear about it in the comments or messages in my Instagram account, but these are the 3 main things that I do to every single Subaru that I own, and I have had very good luck, if you want to call it. Obviously, the cars partake to the mods that I do very well because they stay running, and I don't have problems with them. So the 3 top mods, as you know: tune it, silicone hoses, replace your hoses. Don't let crusty hoses ruin your day. And number 3 is a catch can. Moving on from that, protect your paint. Ceramic coat it, 3M it. So this car has 3M on the front. So it has, I'd rather it be all of it, but it's like $4,000. And I'm not gonna spend $4,000 on 3M on this car. On my Supra or, you know, Lambo, GTR, something like that, I would. But not on this thing. This thing does have, this is perfect for this car. This thing does actually have new paint though. So what I did is I went out and I bought ceramic coating. And I would ceramic coat it because the ceramic coating makes it 10 times stronger from what I hear. And it lasts for a long time. We did the Jag. It lasted a year on the front end, which is superb. So this car is ceramic coated now. Protects the paint, makes it a lot stronger. So number 4 would be protect your paint, protect your investment. Put a coating of ceramic coating or paint protection film and make it last. All right, on to the last thing. Can you guess? Give you a hint. That's right, wheels and tires. This one obviously isn't a modification for longevity, reliability, or anything, but in my humble opinion, wheels and tires can make a car, man. Like they can make it look great, but they can also make it look disgusting. So right now, obviously it's winter. I'm rocking the winters on here. Come summer, spring, I'll probably be eyeing up some aftermarket wheels for this thing and some decent tires, because in the Blob, I got the factory JDMs, which I love, but I got a really nice sticky tire, a BFG, and this thing did wonderful on the track in a stock car. So that would be my 5th and final mod, initial mod. Let's call this, I'm gonna call it the most important mods for your Subaru, but these should also be your initial mods. I didn't mention any maintenance items because maintenance should come before mods in any case. Oil changes, as you guys are aware, I did all the oils in this thing already, right? I have video proof on my YouTube. All the oils have been changed in this thing. I did it. I don't care what the guy said. I wanted it done. I did it. Now I have it on my board over there telling me that, you know, it's done at this time interval. And I found, if you watched my last pollen filter video, which isn't getting a lot of views, so maybe you guys don't need to change your pollen filter, but 85,000 kilometers of timing belt was changed. So that's awesome. Essentially, none of that matters. Well, I mean, it does. Of course it does. But I have a brand new EJ257 short block sitting right there because I thought the engine was toast in this thing, which it's not. So that's good. So, yeah. This is going to be the most important mods to do to your Subaru. Again, maintenance comes before all of this. Once maintenance is done, start thinking about this stuff. Obviously, you can tune your car before you check your timing belt, but it's always good to have a good basis of when your maintenance was done and when it needs to be done, right? Keep that in mind. But yeah, most important mods for your Subaru. I'm speaking from experience. This is subjective. This is my opinion, and it's worked for me. If it hasn't worked for you, let me know. But this is a really, really, really good starting point. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Check out the other videos on the channel and subscribe. Don't be afraid to talk to me on Instagram. It's been great hearing from some of you guys, and now I have a face to the name on Instagram asking me questions. That's awesome. I love that. So don't be afraid. I will put, or I have put, as you've seen in the video, my Instagram tag throughout the video. So yeah, this is what I think you should do. There's a mountain of other things that come after this. You know, don't get me wrong. Spark plugs, you know, I guess that's maintenance though. But doing the proper gap on your spark plugs, buying the proper heat range for your car, intake exhaust, step coulter plug, etc., etc. But yeah, there's a mountain of other things you can do. But anyways, I'm gonna go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. All right, peace.